Hello guys, Belle here. Going to give you a little walkthrough of Ret Paladins for your honor talents for PvP. This isn't going to be a guide so much as a preview. I'm going to wait to do any guides until after Legion is live just because there's so much change that happens in beta, but I wanted you guys to be able to have a preview of your talents so that you can have an idea of what you could possibly use to be able to play. If you need more information on Legion PvP, such as how honor leveling works, how prestige works, as well as where you can acquire your gear, please watch the video that's linked in the top right hand corner. That does give a nice breakdown on Legion PvP, especially since a lot of websites can be a little confusing about how everything works. Your PvP honor talents are actually unlocked as you gain honor levels. By the time I think you're either level 10 or 15, you'll have unlocked your first full row here. Then you'll start unlocking your second and then your third. What I do like about what they chose to do here as far as Blizzard's concerned is they do allow you to unlock the first row first, which means, you know, 10 or 15 honor levels in, you'll be able to use at least one talent in each row. So that's pretty nice. It's pretty useful, and it's going to make it a lot easier for you to be able to acquire what you need moving forward. This first set of talents here, this is going to be the same for all classes and specs. Every class and spec has this exact same setup and the exact same talents because these are your CC breakers. So obviously your first one here, which you do get at level 110, is going to be your Gladiator's Medallion. It is an instant. It's on a 2-minute cooldown, and this is your trinket. This gets you out of all movement impairing effects and loss of control of your character while in PvP. Your second one here is called Adaptation. It's passive. All loss of control effects with a duration of 5 seconds or more will activate your Honorable Medallion spell, but will only cause it to incur a 60-second cooldown. Your third one here, which is going to be Relentless, this does replace your Honorable Medallion. It is passive. The duration of incoming crowd control effects is actually reduced by 25%. Something interesting to note here that I did test on my Destruction Warlock is the difference between the first two, or the first and the third one, as far as when you could use it at different times. Obviously for arenas, especially if you're a skilled player and your interest here is raiding, you already know that you're going to want to have control over your trinket. That's something that's going to be important for you to be able to control when that's used, especially at crucial moments when it might mean killing the healer or, you know, doing that killing blow to one of your opponents in order to be able to win that specific arena battle. So control here is going to be the key. However, what I did find in Battlegrounds is having the duration reduced by 25% was actually quite helpful, and it did feel like I was in CC less. As a Destruction Warlock, I'm constantly CC'd in Battlegrounds by several different targets because of my fear and my Chaos Bolt. If you're a healer or if you're a role that's prone to those CCs, this was really helpful because in a Battleground there's so much CC that's happening. I found using my one trinket every 2 minutes was not as great as having the duration effect actually reduced. It felt like I was able to be not as CC'd as much just because the duration was reduced there. So definitely something that was interesting. You can take that for what it's worth, and it's definitely subjective. This is just my perspective on the situation, but I do feel like it's valid, and I did test it, and I did like what I saw from that one. So for your second set here, you do have Hardiness. This is passive. While above 80% health, you do take 20% less damage. You have Reinforced Armor. This is also passive. Health is increased by 10%. You have Sparring. This is also passive. Physical melee attacks have a 20% chance to be blunted, dealing 50% reduced damage. Your next set here, you have Jurisdiction. This is passive. Increases the range of your Hammer of Justice ability by 10 yards. Your Unbound Freedom is also going to be passive. Blessing of Freedom also increases movement speed by 20%. And for your third one here, you have Law and Order. This is passive. When your Hand of Hindrance is dispelled or otherwise removed early, the cooldown is reduced by 15 seconds. Your Blade of Justice applies Hand of Hindrance to the target for 3 seconds. Your next set here is going to be the Holy Ritual. This is passive. Allies are healed for 32k when you cast a blessing spell, and then when that blessing spell ends, they're also healed for an additional 32k. Pure of Heart is passive. Whenever your allies within 10 yards are healed from any source, they are cleansed of all diseases and poisons. And then third in this set is going to be Luminescence. It's passive. Whenever you are healed by a source, healed by any source rather, all nearby allies within 10 yards are also healed for 30% of that amount, which is pretty nice. Vengeance Aura, this is going to be passive. Whenever nearby allies within 40 yards become victim to full loss of control effect, your holy damage and critical strike chance is increased by 3% for 6 seconds. This also can stack up to 5 times. Blessing of Sanctuary, this is instant. It is on a small 25-second cooldown. Instantly removes all stuns, silence, fears, and horror effects from a friendly target, and also reduces the duration of future such effects by 60% for a full 5 seconds. Seraphim's Blessing, this is passive. When you or nearby allies within 40 yards drop below 40% health, you gain Avenging Wrath for 5 seconds. This effect cannot occur more than once every 60 seconds. For your last one here, you have Lawbringer. This is passive. Increases the duration of your judgment effect by 30 seconds. Anytime you cast judgment, all enemies within your judgment effect will suffer 5% of their total health in holy damage. Divine Punisher, this is passive. Using judgment on the same enemy you judged last generates 2 holy power. And then, of course, your Hammer of Reckoning. This is instant, but it is on a 50-second cooldown. Hurls a magical hammer that strikes an enemy for 113k holy damage. When you or allies with your greater blessings take damage, the damage of your next Hammer of Reckoning increases. So here you have your talent breakdown. This is going to be subject to change as we are still in beta, but I wanted you guys to have a nice little preview of it so that you know what you can look forward to in PvP. If you're new to PWNCAST, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on all your Legion coverage, including the future guides for PvE and PvP that I will be doing once Legion is live. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on the video, and I always, even if I don't know the answer, I will make sure I find the answer for you. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be covering all the specs, so make sure you guys watch the channel pretty closely if you guys play different classes as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.